Tricky subject, but how to overcome trust issues. Hi, my name is Arica Angelo. I've been giving dating advice for 14 years, and we're going to talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about when it comes to trust issues. Typically, the only people who want to talk about trust issues are the people who have been in relationship with people with trust issues, and they will say, man, it was really difficult. They never believed me. It was so hard. And so if you're that person and you're like, Arica, like I am watching this video on the DL, on the down low, I have trust issues and I have tremendous shame around it. Listen, you want to watch this video and you want to stay to the very end, because the last piece of advice that I'm going to share with you, I find to be groundbreaking. And I think it's the one thing that we don't talk about enough, especially when it comes to trust issues. So the first thing is this: you have to choose a trustworthy partner. And what do I mean by that? That might sound like common sense, but let me tell you something. Common sense without common action does you no good. So typically, people who have trust issues are going to attract people who have a hard time telling the truth. That is the perfect storm. That is disaster. That is got catastrophe written all over it. Listen, when you choose a partner, when you choose to stay with someone who is not a person of their word, they lack integrity, they say one thing but they do another, they hide things from you, they withhold information, which for me, I believe that withholding is just as well, you might as well just lie. So when they do all these sneaky things, it's impossible to trust them. And the longer you stay with them, you're beating yourself up for one, having these trust issues, but also chances are the person who's treating you this way is also going to villainize you about your trust issues. And chances are they're going to gaslight you and they're going to make it about you as opposed to being realistic over the fact that they're the culprit, that they're the ones that are lying and that they're insinuating more distrust. So if you have a hard time trusting, chances are you've got some really hard things that you're trying to overcome. Maybe they're abandonment issues, maybe it's rejection, maybe it's some trauma. Listen, at the end of the day, we always want to go to the root of those things and to allow ourselves to get healing. Don't let it just stay at the surface and go, I just have trust issues. No. Get below. What's going on there? Why are those trust issues there? Take some time to investigate, work with some healers, work with counselors, work with coaches like myself to get to the root of it. Don't just chase the top portion, which is trust issues. Second thing is this: you want to set boundaries with your needs. Typically, when you have trust issues, you become very self-conscious. You start thinking that something is always wrong with you. And so when you're always looking inward, and chances are you're probably blaming yourself, you tend to forget that you need boundaries. And this is why you want to stay to the very end, because the thing that I'm going to talk about that could save your life has to do with this. So pay attention to this right now. Boundaries is our way of teaching the world how to treat us. And if you are a person without boundaries, without needs, guess what? People are going to walk all over you. And the more you allow people to walk all over you, guess what grows on the inside? That's right, your distrust. Your distrust in people, your distrust in that this world is no longer a safe place. It's not safe, so you distrust the world around you. You having boundaries says, hey, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I have needs, and those needs matter. They have a voice. So setting some boundaries helps create trust so that you know and remind yourself that, hey, you're not a victim in this, that you too are powerful and that you have a voice. Now also, if you need any support, know that you can go to my website and get a free connection meditation. Listen, this is going to help soothe your nervous system, bring those escalating thoughts down, Create some peace, some safety on the inside. It's my voice with some beautiful music reminding you that you're lovable, that you're worthy of love. And I encourage you to listen to it every morning when you wake up and every night right before you go to bed for the next 30 days. Because why? It takes 30 days to create a new habit. So make sure that you do that. And in saying this, talking about meditation, here's the thing. When we meditate, it brings our thoughts to a silence. That brings me to my next piece of advice for you. Number 3 is this. Don't buy every thought. You've got to start talking to your thoughts. What do I mean by this? Chances are when you have trust issues, your thoughts run rampant with worst case scenarios. And so when that starts happening and then your body starts getting triggered, your body starts shaking, your chest gets tight, your voice tightens up, your head starts getting a headache, you start getting a bit feverish, and you get thirsty, you're like, oh, I'm losing, like, I've got this dryness in my throat. All these physical reactions start happening. One of the most helpful things that you can do is talk to your mind, talk to your thoughts, and you say this, hey, guess what? That's really not a helpful thought right now. That's actually hurting me right now. Most of the time, your mind is just trying to protect you. It's trying to look for danger everywhere because that's what it's been taught to do. Whatever traumatic thing that caused you to distrust, this is your mind really ramped up trying to protect you. So we talk to our mind, or we talk to our thoughts very kindly. We don't demonize them. We talk to them kindly and say, hey, listen, I know you're trying to help me. That's really not a helpful thought. In fact, you're making me feel very anxious right now. That's not a helpful thought. We don't have to believe everything that comes through our mind, and we do have the power, we have the voice to talk to our thoughts. And the 4th thing is this, and this is the most important thing that I can teach you, that I can share with you. If there's anything that you learn from this video, this is what I want you to walk away with, is be honest with yourself. Most of the time when there are trust issues there's also a lack of trust in oneself. And most of the time you don't trust yourself because you keep putting yourself in situations, circumstances, and scenarios that you don't want to be in, that you don't believe in, that you wholeheartedly can't get behind. But for whatever reason, you keep saying yes. You keep jumping right back into those situations. And you're teaching yourself that you are not trustworthy. Baby, we've got to change that paradigm, because the more that you trust yourself, you're going to put better boundaries in place. You're going to attract better, trustworthy people into your life. And I'm going to leave you with this. As soon as I'm finished with this, I want you to watch right now. I want you to watch this video about how to beat self-doubt. Because trust, to really begin to trust, it really starts with you trusting yourself. Trusting that when you say something, you're gonna stand behind that. You're gonna take action to follow through on the words you say. I love you. You got this. And come back, because I have more videos to support you. I love you so much. Take care.